guys, I'm Dustin with the first robotics team, Beast Robotics, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to make rock candy. Let's hop right into it. Before we get into making the rock candy, let's talk about the materials you'll need. You'll need 6 cups of sugar and 2 cups of water to make the solution that will allow your rock candy to grow. But you'll need to put that solution into 4 cups because it makes 4 things of rock candy. So you'll need 4 skewers because the skewers are what the rock candy is going to be growing on. Now you don't want it touching the sides or the bottom of the cup, so you're going to want to build some sort of contraption using clips to hold it up. You can either use a clothespin across the top. I'm currently using 2 binder clips and 2 skewers to hold it in place because that's what I had available. You'll need, in order to make the actual solution itself, you'll need a spatula to stir the solution as you add in the sugar, and you'll need a saucepan and access to a stove in order to heat it up. Ask for an adult's permission before starting. Don't forget that the pan will get hot, and when you go to pour it into the cups, you'll need some oven mitts and most likely someone else's help. Before we start making the solution itself, let's get the skewers ready. How we do that is we dip it in some water, and I have a paper towel full of sugar, and you just roll your wet skewer in the sugar. You do this with every single skewer, and you set it aside to dry. Now, we're going to start making the actual solution because I've pre-made all my skewers. You're going to add 2 cups of water into the saucepan. Then you're going to put the heat on medium, high to medium, somewhere in there. The heat is important because we're trying to make the water absorb more sugar than it normally would if it just stayed at room temperature. This is called creating a supersaturated solution, and it is the key to making the crystallization happen for the rock candy. So we're going to take our spatula and stir the sugar to help it mix with the water. Remember, as you add more sugar, remember to add sugar when where you can feel no more sugar at the bottom of the pan. Now, it'll take longer and it'll be harder to mix in the sugar the more sugar you add in because it's reaching its maximum point. It's the limit that it can handle. Even though we are making a supersaturated solution, there is still a point where it will stop absorbing the sugar until we take it to even higher temperatures. So, but a 3-to-1 ratio is the best for rock candy formation. Alright. I am just about ready to add another cup, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. Make sure you try and get as much of the sugar in there as possible, because we don't want to mess with the 3-to-1 balance, because that is something really important. And the reason why we put the sugar on the skewers was for it to trigger the supersaturated solution, because with that there, it's gonna actually pull the sugar onto the skewers, which is gonna cause the crystal to grow. Well, I'm going to finish up the solution, and the next time you'll see me, I'll be pouring it into the cups. a couple tips I want to share with you. As you're getting towards the end, it'll get very cloudy and yellow tinged, so it'll be hard to see the sugar on the bottom. So you really have to go for the feel. And on that note, I'm starting to feel like it's reaching point of supersaturation. So I'm gonna take it off the heat and move it to a cool burner, and then let it rest for 10 minutes. As I mentioned before, you're going to let it sit in a cool, dark place with something covering it for about 1 week to 2 weeks, depending on how it's forming. So how you're going to remove it is because you'll get some crystal on the top. I don't know if you can see it very well on camera, but you get some crystal forming on top, so you got to break that away before you can free your rock candy. Alright. Now that I have it free, I should be able to just pull it. Oh, there's not much on this one. Well, that is just too bad. I mean, it happens. I have some other ones that I pulled out earlier that look a little bit better. So, yeah, these are pretty well formed. This one, I don't really know what happened. I think it might have been too close to the sides or the bottom, or I also could have forgot not put enough sugar on that one. So, well, let's check the other one that I have too. Oh, I forgot to mention, an important thing to do is to, once you pull them out, is to make sure to let them dry. But I also have this one right here that needs to be pulled out. We'll see if this one fared any better, because it looks to be in the same spot as the other one was. So we're going to do the same exact thing, except I lost my spoon. Found my spoon. You're going to break the top layer. Now, I'm going to carefully... Oh, there we go. This one's a lot nicer. I think this is the best one I have yet. Oh, the top has been broken off. So for this one, I guess the top and the bottom of the skewer must have been too close to the bottom of the cup, and crystal formed connecting the two. So when I went to pull it out, the crystal broke. Well, the last part for you to do is to eat your rock candy. Doesn't science taste amazing?